Hi, this is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and I have a stack of book pages. And these came out of this blue book here, and I have approximately 200 to 300 pages. And now, when I look at my book, I have about 40 some pages that I can work with because I took the pages out. To explain how I did it, I went to the front of the book and I picked up about 4 pages and I glued them together. Then I tore out 3. Then I picked up 3 more and glued those together. Then I took another 3 out. And a couple instances I picked up too many to glue, but that's fine. Sometimes it was 3 and sometimes it was 4. But in between each one was the 3 missing pages. And now I have a nice little stack of pages that I want to use for my art journal. And these pages here, I'm going to put aside, and I may eventually use a couple pieces from them in my journal itself. So let's see what we have here. I have gesso that I'm going to be putting on it. I'm going to put a piece of typing paper here and fix one of our pages to paint on. Take this and kind of rip it in half, and I'll put it on this side to keep my paint off. Now here we go. This is our first group of pages. First thing I'm going to do is put a little gesso on it. My gesso is fairly thick, so it won't be real runny. This will kind of give it some base to paint on. Okay, I have my stencil here. Okay, I have some embossing paste here. It's translucent. And we'll see how it works. Okay, I have my stencil down. Hopefully it won't move. And now I'm going to use some Dreamweaver Stencil embossing paste. And this is translucent. So I've never used this before, but we will see what happens. I hope it gives me the appearance that I want, but I won't know until after it's dry. So what I'm doing is, this is kind of a complicated stencil. It's with the circles for windows and everything, but with this being translucent, it should work out and give the appearance of kind of a ghostly building. But we'll have to see what happens. Okay, I have put this translucent texture paste into the stencil, and I'm going to take my tape off. It's just barely holding it onto the page, and we shall remove the stencil. Okay, I'm going to take the other piece of tape off now and remove the stencil, and let's see what we have. There we go. And I have no earthly idea what I have. I will have to wait until tomorrow to see what happens to this. As I said, I've never tried it before, so I thought I'd see what happens. I'm hoping I'll have a ghostly looking building, but you can see, if you look closely, some of the features of it on the page. Okay, now my page is completely dry, and I feel the rough texture there on my page, and I really can't see anything because it's transparent. So let's see if I can bring some color into the page, whether or not that will help. I'm going to be using some pastels, just a few colors, and I'm not really proficient in using pastels, but we'll see what we can come up with. I'm going to use some colors that would be appropriate behind a building. And as I go along, you can be getting to see some of it take place. I like blending my pastels with my fingers. The building is taking shape a little bit. Now, if you could be here in person, you could see that this has a glaze appearance. These are I think the windows of the building, and of the tower there. It has some windows, so we go up there and put a little color in them. I pulled out a box of small trims. I may use something from it on my sheet, but in the meantime, I'm going to go back to my book page, and I'm going to tear off the margin here that doesn't have any writing on it. Then I'm going to get me a couple of little strips, and I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. I just have the urge to use a piece of printed words on my book. I've turned the strips into smaller pieces. Okay, what I'm doing now is putting a couple of these little strips on my page, and I'm just kind of tearing a little point to them at the end, and then I'm going to have them kind of like little arrows down on the sky area. And I'm not sure what they represent. I just know I was in the mood to put them there. You can see there something falling from the skies. And by the way, if you'll notice, I have my sky done. I forgot to record when I was using watercolor on my sky. I used pastels for the green, and I did a little blue in the pastels. But then I went back and made blue clouds with watercolor. And now I'm putting a couple of more of these little pieces on, and we'll see what happens at the end. Now my art page is just about finished. It has a ghost of a building on it that is transparent. You can see it if you really look hard. It has pastels at the bottom, watercolors at the top, and just strips of book page in the middle. And now, since the building has a sheen on it, I'm putting a label up there that says "Shine Brightly." I'm going to my box that has all those little trims on it, and I found one here that I think I like. This beige or tan piece of trim, and it's fairly wide, so it's really wider than what I want. So I think I'm going to cut it in half. So we'll just cut off the size that we need, and then we'll cut it in half. I think this will look cute as a little trim on my page. It'll look kind of like a fence or a border of some sort that kind of encloses everything in. So we'll put a little glue, and by the way, I'm using Eileen's Turbo Glue. I put it in a smaller container and add a little water to it so it would come out easier than in the big container that I bought it in. To finish off my pages, I'm going to use this rust distressed ink, and I'm going to go around the edge of all my page here. Start on the outside, and this will just kind of make the page pop. Okay, as I finish up putting the distress ink on, you see my page. It is pretty much finished now. At least this is all I plan to do to it. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me to watch me work on my art journal. And in the meantime, if you will, please come back and see me and see what I have in store for you for next time. And if you have a chance, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Bye.